Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm here with another terrain generation mod that I believe is absolutely worth your time. This mod is titled Still Life, and like pretty much every other terrain generation mod I've shown in the past, provides some absolutely incredible terrain to explore. This mod is made by the same creator as Lithosphere, and in fact actually requires Lithosphere in order to use it. Lithosphere on its own is already a fantastic mod, providing some very detailed and fairly realistic looking terrain generation. However, on its own, it only changes the terrain itself. All the biomes will still be more or less vanilla, and Still Life is kind of the second half of the equation. For starters, it completely fills in Lithosphere's terrain with biomes that are far more appropriate for this terrain type. Vanilla biomes look solid in the base game, but once you apply them to terrain like this, somewhat realistic, they just look a little out of place. Plus, the borders between biomes are just far too sharp. Still Life does a fantastic job of alleviating these issues. Biomes feel much more natural as they have beautiful and seamless transitions. They meld together in a way that makes it feel as if it's one ever-continuing biome that slowly changes over time, rather than, again, just having harsh cut-off borders. And I mean, it really is night and day. Here's a comparison showing Lithosphere with and without this mod. And by the way, if you'd like to use this seed, because it's a pretty cool one, the seed is literally 0. Pretty easy to remember. And this is the starting area of the seed, so very easy access to mountains. Which, by the way, does bring up a pretty important point with Lithosphere, and this is the fact that the terrain generated with it is pretty large. Big enough, in fact, that I'd say it's pretty much necessary to use a mod like Distant Horizons. Because, Lithosphere can generate some huge sprawling mountain ranges, but it can also generate some huge sprawling plains. And if you're stuck in those plains just wandering aimlessly, it's really not going to be that fun. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, the biomes are much more fitting. They're far more detailed than what you find in vanilla. The foliage is denser, has more variety. It feels like vegetation that should actually exist in a world like this. And Still Life makes additions under the surface as well, providing new caves that are described as more fantasy-like, as opposed to the fairly realistic terrain up above. And I actually really appreciate this. It just mixes things up a bit, Also, something that I feel is worth mentioning is the fact that Lithosphere in general kind of takes a while to generate chunks when using Distant Horizons. I've absolutely used terrain mods that take way longer, but it certainly isn't fast. So, what I would recommend is just simply brute forcing it a bit. If you're playing a survival world, create your world as usual. Then once you're in game, head to the Distant Horizons settings and just absolutely max out the generation speed, get yourself somewhere nice and safe, and then go and eat dinner or something. Give yourself at least like 20 minutes, and when you come back, you should have a solid number of chunks generated. Keep in mind, the amount of time you're going to need to wait will absolutely depend on what processor you've got. Now, you can turn the generation speed back down to say balanced, and you should be good to go. You don't have to do it this way, but it works well for me. Also, if you don't want to use the seed that I provided, I would absolutely use a website to see exactly what your world's going to look like. Because Lithosphere provides some pretty huge terrain, there's going to be some areas that just might not be what you're looking for. And if you happen to start in one, you're going to be there for a while. And maybe this isn't a problem for you. But if it is, go to this website, which I'll have linked in the description, upload the Lithosphere and Still Life mods, and now the terrain map will show the terrain that's generated from both of them. It's pretty cool. Once you've got this set up, you can randomize the seed and make sure the nearest mountain range isn't like 5,000 blocks away. I promise there's a good chance you will appreciate this. And truly, this is some of the most beautiful terrain available for Minecraft. It is on the larger side, so you're gonna be going on some pretty epic journeys. But I mean, come on, can you say no to that view? Still Life just really feels like the perfect completion for Lithosphere. Together, they make Minecraft terrain pretty unrecognizable and do it without adding any new blocks to the game. I will mention that as of now, this mod is pretty new and considered to be in beta, so there are some bugs you can expect to come across occasionally. The mod page mentions that a few structures such as mine shafts won't actually generate right now, so perhaps keep some things like that in mind. It also mentions that Still Life shouldn't be used with other terrain generation mods, because it's pretty much made for Lithosphere. There are, however, a few structure generation mods with built-in compatibility, and those are listed on the mod page. So yeah, I think Still Life along with Lithosphere are absolutely worth checking out. Terrain generation mods are some of my favorite mods to showcase, and this is a very good one. Or I guess it's 2 mods, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think about the mod, so let me know in the comments. And if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and until next time, thanks for watching.